In the 14th century, a pope fled Rome and built the largest Gothic palace in the world, not in Italy, but in southern France. Inside this fortress, secret meetings took place in a room so private it was called the Chamber of Secrets. But here's the twist. Hidden frescoes in the palace walls were only rediscovered centuries later, their colors as vibrant as the day they were painted. Southern France isn't just beautiful, it's full of jaw-dropping stories like this one. Get ready to explore 10 of the most amazing spots in southern France. Number 1. Pont du Gard. If you were a Roman almost 2,000 years ago, you'd know about the Pont du Gard. It wasn't just a bridge, it was a masterpiece. You're carrying millions of liters of water every day through a structure built entirely without mortar. Yes, the stones fit so perfectly they didn't need glue to stay together. Some of these stones weighed as much as 6 cars combined, and they were placed by hand. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Workers left marks on the stones, graffiti from the ancient world. Names, symbols, even little jokes scratched into the rock. It's like hearing whispers from the past. Today, the Pont du Gard is a peaceful place. People kayak under it, take photos, or simply sit by the water. And when the sun sets, its golden glow against the stone feels like the world has paused just for a moment. Number 2. Verdun Gorge. There's a place in France where the water glows. No, really. The Verdun Gorge is home to a river so blue-green, it looks like it's been painted. Locals say it's because of the minerals carried from the glaciers, and it's not just beautiful, it's alive. The cliffs here are like giant walls, over 700 meters high in some places. For hikers, there's the Blanc Martel Trail. It's long, it's steep, and by the end, your legs might hate you. But when you reach those hidden viewpoints and see the river winding far below, it's hard to feel anything but awe. And then there's the quiet. If you stop and listen, you can hear the wind weaving through the rocks, like nature's secret song. Adventurers love it here, whether they're kayaking, climbing, or just dipping their toes in the icy water. Every corner feels like discovering something untouched. Number 3. Avignon. Once upon a time, popes didn't live in Rome, they lived in Avignon, in a massive palace with thick walls and secret chambers. Inside, there's a room that was once called the Chamber of Secrets, not for magic, but for the whispers of the most powerful men in the world. The frescoes in some of these rooms are so well preserved that they still look fresh today. And then there's the bridge, Pont d'Avignon. Most of it is gone now, ending halfway across the Rhone River. But it still carries a song, a nursery rhyme sung by children for generations. People used to dance under the bridge in the shade, not on top of it. Today, it feels like a piece of a story frozen in time. Avignon is a mix of old and new, with lively markets, cobblestone streets, and the kind of charm that stays with you long after you leave. Number 4. Calanques National Park. The Calanques are a hidden world. Deep blue waters framed by jagged white cliffs. They're secretive, almost shy. To reach them, you need to hike or sail. Calanque d'Envaux is one of the most beautiful, but it's also the hardest to get to. The trails are steep and rocky, but the reward? A cove so perfect it feels untouched. Locals have their own secret spots here. They don't talk about them much, but if you're lucky enough to know one, they might show you a hidden beach or quiet cave. The cliffs have stories too. Long ago, pirates used them to hide treasure. Or so the tales say. The water here is so clear, you can see the fish below, darting like silver streaks. On some days, the wind carries the scent of pine and salt, blending into something you won't forget. Number 5. Saint-Tropez. Before the yachts and the celebrities, Saint-Tropez was just a fishing village. Its streets were quiet, and its harbor was lined with small boats. Everything changed in the 1950s when a movie star named Brigitte Bardot came here. Suddenly, the world wanted to see what made this little town so special. But even with its fame, Saint-Tropez has its secrets. Down an alley called Rue des Tisserands, you'll find the heart of the old town. It's quiet, with small shops and cafes that feel far away from the glitter of the main streets. And then there are the beaches. Plage des Salines is one of the lesser-known ones, with soft sand and clear water. It's not crowded like the more famous spots, and it feels like the Saint-Tropez of long ago, before the world discovered it. Number 6. Carcassonne. Carcassonne is a castle from a storybook. Its walls rise high, with towers that seem to touch the sky. Inside, the streets are narrow, winding like a maze. It's easy to imagine knights in armor hurrying through the gates. But Carcassonne has secrets. Beneath the streets, there are tunnels. They were used in medieval times to escape during sieges or to move supplies without being seen. Some say you can still hear footsteps echoing down there, though no one knows if it's the wind or something more. The Basilica of St. Nazarius and Celsus is another special place. People say touching the gargoyle statues brings luck. They've been here for centuries, watching over the town. Carcassonne feels like stepping back in time, a place where history still whispers in the air. Number 7. Arles. Arles is the kind of place that stays with you. It's where Van Gogh painted some of his most famous works, like Starry Night over the Rhone. He lived in a yellow house here, though the house is gone now, destroyed in the war. But you can still visit the cafe he painted, its yellow walls glowing in the sun. Arles is more than just art. Its Roman amphitheater is still standing, nearly 2,000 years old. They still hold events here, concerts, plays, even bullfights. Imagine sitting on the same stones where people sat centuries ago, watching gladiators fight. The streets of Arles are quiet but full of life. If you walk slowly, you'll find hidden courtyards and small gardens tucked away behind old stone walls. It's a city that reveals itself little by little. Number 8. Gordes. Gordes is a village perched high on a hill, with stone houses that seem to grow out of the rock itself. The streets are cobbled, twisting and turning as they climb higher. Beneath the village, there's a secret network of caves. These caves were used in medieval times to store wine, hide valuables, and even escape during wars. In the summer, the air smells of lavender. Fields of purple stretch out around the village, their scent drifting on the breeze. People come from all over to see them, but Gordes keeps its quiet charm. The sun sets here in a way that makes everything glow. The stones of the houses turn golden, and for a moment, it feels like the whole world has stopped to watch. Number 9. Camargue. Camargue is wild. It's where flamingos wade in shallow waters, their pink feathers bright against the sky. White horses gallop through the marshes, their hooves splashing water as they run. And then there are the bulls, grazing quietly, their dark shapes standing out against the green fields. But there's a hidden side to the Camargue. In a small village called Saintes Marias de la Mer, there's a festival every May. It honors Saint Sarah, the patron saint of the Romani people. For days, the streets fill with music, dancing, and a procession to the sea. The Camargue feels untamed, like a piece of nature left untouched. Even the air smells different, a mix of salt, earth, and something wild. Number 10. Eze. Eze is a village that clings to the side of a mountain, high above the sea. Its streets are narrow, lined with stone houses that seem to have grown out of the rock. At the very top is the Jardin Exotique, a garden filled with rare plants and sculptures. From here, you can see the French Riviera spread out below. The view is so breathtaking that even Walt Disney came here, finding inspiration in its beauty. There's a bench in the garden with a plaque that reads, "Take a moment to dream." And that's what Eze feels like, a dream. It's a place where time slows down, where every step feels like walking through a story. And there you have it, 10 unforgettable wonders of southern France. Pack your bags, grab your camera, and let the magic of this region leave you speechless. See you on your next adventure.